Hello to another part of Sane Trilogy Crash Bandicoot 1. We're now doing time trials. This is Island 1. All of Island 1 except for the first level because we already did that. We already did the fucking relic for that one back in like part 1. However, we're now going to be doing all the other ones. And here's the thing with getting the relic times in Crash 1. In Crash 2 and 3, we're gonna have to slide. So, you know, slide, jump, slide, spin, whatever. That shit's gonna help us. Crash 1 does not have that. So, the only way to be the fastest is to use the masks. And we have to get all 3 in order to do it. And we can't keep masks before we start the time trial. They go away immediately. So, if there are 3 masks in the level, we're gonna need to keep our masks to at least a 2 until we get to the 3rd mask. Activate that and get our special, you know, super mask ability going, which will make us go the fastest we can possibly go in Crash 1, and then just hail for it. Just bum rush through the whole thing since we're invincible. No damage would take it. Outside of that, there is another one, and that is input. Because we don't have the slide, we can't just, like, abuse the fuck out of that and get through this real quickly. We have to deal with Crash's little run, you know, slow-ass run. And also, when they're done that level, that's up the Great Gate, which some levels are going to be very long, some are going to be very short. Majority of them are not going to last, like, a minute at least, maybe a minute. But they should last less than that, usually. And also, the clock here has a bit of a weird hitbox. You can sort of hit it without touching it, and by doing that, it will start, and in this point, you know, it is sort of useful, because you can get in a good position to, like, immediately jump on the box. And, yeah, let's get on to input. If you're doing the side-scrolling thing, it should not be hard to do the input, you know. You just gotta hold left and hold right, keep going forward, don't stop unless this shit's in your way and you don't have a mask. I just missed there. I can't stop for that shit. I can't stop for masks. I can't waste time. So I don't have a slide ability. I can't just go and do whatever the fuck I want. I have to bum rush this shit. This makes, you know, getting the relics in Crash 1... you know, it should be the hardest, but luckily the times are forgiving enough sometimes, well usually they're forgiving, for you to actually make it through. Like right here. So, even if you have to wait a bit for a pole, you can still make it. Now it's time for boulders, which is very easy, straightforward. Always get the yellow boxes, by the way. There's no bonus for getting them all, but you know, get them all anyway, so that you got the least amount of time wasted, because they always help. They always help. But yeah, input. I keep fucking putting that off. When you're going something like this, up and down and such, you want to go left and right as little as possible. The reason for this is because if you're going down, like for instance here, and you're going left or right to make a turn, to make sure you're in the center and such, you're actually wasting a few bits of time, and that can pretty much destroy your platinum run if you do too much going left and right. So you want to make sure your inputs are as small as possible if you want to actually get the platinums. That does make the Crash 1 time trials very difficult, but they're not the hardest because the times are not bullshit. Crash 2, when we get to that, trust me, even with the slide trick, they made the Crash 2 times utterly fucking abysmal. They made it unforgiving. Here, though, not really. Except for certain levels. Upstream here, not really. This one's pretty simple. You can make that jump, by the way, if you time it just right. There is timing to this, even though there is a problem of desync. And yeah, the desync. This game, if you were playing the originals, you would know it would load parts of it each time, and as you go forward, it loads more of the level. This is not the case here. In Sane Trilogy, the entire level is loaded, which means that everything is already going even when you're not there, even when the screen is not there. So, for the most part, there'll be bits that are completely out of sync, and they will fuck you up bad. They can fuck a run up bad, and there are a few levels where they can really screw you. But there you go, that's another one done. That's an achievement, catch me if you can. We have to get all the relics. You have to get at least a gold to get the trophies. But if you're me, if you're going for platinum to 100% the game completely, you want to really try your hardest on this shit, because platinum is always the hardest. Now it's time for Rolling Stones, which, it's not that hard really, because, once again, we're going to be using the masks. We have one right here. Again, as little input as possible, but this time, you're also going to deal with the wheels. And if you time it right, you can make it through the wheels without having to stop. But the input needed for that shit is actually kind of complicated. And I can't really pull it off, so I do wait a bit. And it does waste my time. But again, if you can get your shit done there, you're good. And by the way, jumping around a lot does sometimes help if you're going a bit uphill. Because then you won't be running uphill, you'll be making a big jump over it, and the camera will increase in speed, and yeah, you'll get a lot more fodder if you make a jump instead of just running up the hill. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to do with the Relics in Crash 1, and if you know what you're doing, then you're good. That doesn't mean that I'm the best at doing this shit. That doesn't mean I'm a great speedrunner at these. In fact, when it comes to Crash games, I'm shit at speedruns. I'm just saying, from my experience, this is the best I've been able to figure out for Crash 1, doing the time trials, and trust me, this is not the best. People have been able to get fucking insane times compared to me. The only time, at the time, that was decent will be coming in next part, because that time actually got me pretty high up on the leaderboards compared to all these other times. It's gone now. I was on a good spot. In fact, I was in the top 5 at the time, but then I went down to top 8, like top 10, and I believe now I'm in the top 50, I think. I'm pretty low down because a lot of people fucking are legit speedrunners. And they know their shit. And there's also hackers. They somehow know their shit too with hacking the leaderboards and putting in stupid fucking times that are actually impossible to actually achieve. So, yeah, thanks for that, hackers. But there you go, that's another one done. Hog's easy. Jump crazily. That's it. Jump and get your inputs right. Because jumping increases your speed a bit. There you go. That's basically it for Hog. And now it's time for Native Fortress, which is the longest one out of all the ones in Island 1. And it's kind of a bitch. It took me a while to actually do this one. It is a bit annoying, but it is manageable. It's just long. And that is basically the hardest part with doing Crash 1 time trial relics and getting the platinums in them. The long ones. Because if you fuck up and you've already spent like a minute or two on this shit, you have to go through the entire thing all over again. There are no checkpoints. And you'll get pissed off. Oh, by the way, Yeah, the fire. I don't know if I said it already, but the hitbox on the fire are bullshit. And actually jumping over them isn't easy. It really isn't. And you'll probably fuck it up bad and die. Trust me, I have done that a lot. In fact, as a bonus, you will actually get, at the very end, a little blooper reel of some of the best parts of these fuck-ups, in my opinion. Because I'll be going through all of the fuck-ups and choosing the best ones to show. And I mean, I know there's a mask there. You already know there's a mask at the side. Not gonna need it. Because there's not enough masks to actually get the free mask thing going, really. And, you know, helping out on this shit. Otherwise, I would have definitely gone ahead and got that mask. And, you know, tried to stay on the box and not fall down and go for all that shit again. Yeah. But, as you can see, I am a little afraid of the fire because there are bits in the fire. The timing of the fire is, I can't tell if I'm gonna be fine or if the fire is gonna pop up while I'm on it and fucking kill me. Because again, the hitbox is unforgiving. You can die without even touching the fire. Just because you touched above the fire, you're dead. It's fucking stupid. But there you go. That's all of Island 1. That's all my times. Again, they're not the best. I know people can do much better than me. This is the best I got. And I'm not improving these. I am not going back to improve these. Because I don't care that much. I'm just here to get the platinums. I am not a speedrunner of Crash games. And I never will because I suck at them. So, yeah. Even if I practice a bunch, it ain't happening. I am not improving these times. This took me about half an hour, I think. An hour or half an hour. But that's it. That is all of Island 1. Next time we'll do an Island 2. Going through all that shit. But, for now, I'm now going to give you a blooper reel. It's not going to be a long blooper reel compared to the other 2 islands. But I hope you enjoyed the blooper reel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Island 2.